Hey all, Russ here, RVerTV. Welcome. Check this out. Ecoflow just sent me a whole system. It's their Delta 3 Max Plus. You included a chair and a cool light. Look at this. Outdoor camping light. Woohoo, by Ecoflow. Anyway, I'm going to set all this up. Plus, they sent me a alternator charger. So I can tap into that with solar panels. It's a complete off-grid setup. Anyway, I'm going to get in the van. I got some wiring to do before we can hook all this stuff up. Going to get that done first. Then we will get busy. Test this thing out. Been meaning to do this for quite a while. I need to tap right straight into the battery alternator. So I got to uncover it right now. In a Mercedes Sprinter, the batteries are hidden under the floorboards. Underneath this mat here, there should be a little door, and the battery will be underneath it. There it is. That compartment right there. Okay, I have the entire system. That's the ground. It disconnects the entire system. The whole van is got no power right now. I'm going to uncover this, hook a line to it. I can't film that, but I'll be right back. Okay, got the line run. It took a little while. It was too much to try to film. I'm putting ends on. Last year, I ran a dedicated line in the wall, so I've been planning this for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and get a battery end on that, a lug. Then we'll keep going. Okay, little breaker switch here. That feeds to the back of the van all the way through the wall. That white line is no longer, it's a dead line, but that red cable goes clear to the back where all the other electronics are. Also put a shut-off switch right back here. That's where the line comes out from the front seat. Then it feeds right back to that bus bar. So I finally, yay, have a dedicated line cleared to the engine in this 24-foot long Sprinter van. Okay, here's their Ecoflow alternator charger. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. Supposed to get up about 800 watts charging off the engine. It says 3-in-1, so you got shore power, solar power, and engine power that you can feed into the Ecoflow. Don't mind the mess, that'll get cleaned up here shortly. Okay, let's get it unboxed. This is all the cables that comes with it. And the charger itself. Pretty compact, huh? Okay, well, I'm going to get this out of the box, and then we will get her hooked up. There's all the cables. It even comes with a fuse. Pretty cool. I'm going to mount it right there in the wall. Okay, fuse is installed. I even added another cutoff switch there, and also I got a ground wire dedicated around to the chassis of the van. There's the house batteries down there. You can actually reverse charge from an Ecoflow through that alternator charger. You can actually charge the house batteries. Okay, I got the batteries unboxed. That's extra battery. It comes with it. They sent it. There's the solar panels right there in those cases. The Max Plus is 2,048 watt hours, and that extra smart battery is another 2,000. So this whole system is actually just a little over 4,000 watt hours. Something that compact and small, huh? Here, I'll show you the alternator charger too. There it is, right on the wall, ready to go. I've got to hook this to the apps too. Ecoflow has a cool app. I got to connect all these. Here's the cable, which connects clear up to the engine. That guy right there goes all the way up to the engine. It's all wired into the Ecoflow fuse. Got a good ground to the chassis and my little voltmeter that shows the voltage from the engine. I just started up the van. You can see the voltage went up from the engine. The alternator on the engine's working 14.7, 14.8, and that'll be feeding into that box there to generate our charging. Pretty cool. Let me get this chair out real quick. Here's the light. I gotta unwrap it yet. I'll set it up real quick. The chair was cool. A little small for me, but it's good. All right, let me get this set up. Doing this one-handed, but it does extend. Everything's plastic. It's kind of lightweight, but if you threw something over the base, it wouldn't blow over. Pretty cool, though. I'll hook it up. We'll turn it on. Let's see. It's this cable here. Looks like it's got a cigarette style plug. So that would go in the back of the battery. All right, but I want to get the solar panels hooked up next. We'll wait on that. All right, these are bifacial panels. Got a wire frame on them. It's probably the nicest portable panel I've ever seen. By Ecoflow. It's supposed to produce 500 watts or 125 watts each. All right, let me get them wired together. They got plugs on the back of them. I'm doing this one-handed, so forgive me. They just daisy chain together. You just plug one into the other. So you can add as many as you want. Let me get them hooked up and then we'll hook it to the battery. Here's the special cord that will hook to the panels, then to the battery. All right, on the back, there's the 110 volt shore power. They got a switch there for fast charge or adjustable. You adjust it with the app. Then there's two XT60 inputs for solar and also that alternator charger. Down there is where you connect the extra battery, that guy right there. There is a cable for that and a cigarette style plug. All right, looks like I got them all hooked together and it's plugged into the battery. Wow, we're generating 439 watts. Early morning sun. That's impressive, right off them panels. Bifacial panels means that it collects from the back too. It collects sun on both sides of the panel. They're a little more efficient. You'll get a little more energy out of a bifacial setup. Those are very premium quality panels. Very cool. Once again, Ecoflow. All right, I'm going to connect the external battery to the Delta Max Plus. With the sun, it's kind of reflecting. Apologize. That battery is on. See it flashing? So they are charging. There. So the batteries are hooked together. All right, here's what it looks like on the app. Delta 3 Max Plus. About 447, 48 watts off the solar panels going in. You can see that AC1, AC2, there's actually two circuits. They separated their plugs on the front of this thing. Pretty cool. All right, in the app, you have full control over everything on the batteries. All your different settings, firmware update. You can set the auto timeouts if you want the thing to shut down. Always set it to never. You can set the LCD screen timeout, all of it. All right, I need to check for an update. Probably is going to need to. There's your car charging current, all of it. Charging speed, this is adjustable. Right now, that switch is on fast charge. If I put it on adjust, you could adjust it. I'll show you that in a little while. But 1800 watts, that's fast. And you could do it with shore power, solar, all of them together. All right, let me find where the firmware is. There it is, that little red dot. So it needs an update. Let me get in there. Update. All right, this might take a little bit. And on the battery it goes UP for update. Turned off all the other screens there, the input, output. It's updating. Just got to wait it out. There's a short power plug. They give you a short set of cables. I'm going to need a lot longer if I use these this winter out in the desert. That's pretty darn short. But that's okay. That's an easy fix. But pretty darn cool. I really like these panels. Once again, that's the nicest portable panels I have ever seen. Look how the shadow comes through. That shows you that's the bifacial they collect from both sides. You could even add more. They just daisy chain together and just hook straight in the battery. And this would work with any Ecoflow product. This doesn't have to be this Delta. Right there. I'm going to set that to adjust. That's the charging speed. Okay, before I move everything inside the van, let's try our light. Gotta hook this thing up. Plug it in back here to the 12-volt cigarette style plug. Even has a little remote. All kinds of different settings. You can adjust brightness and all that. That flashing is the camera. The frame rate on the camera. It's not the light. The light is very bright and nice. Very cool. Very handy tool. Definitely use that this fall out in the desert too. Folds up nice too. Collapses, goes back in that plastic tube. So pretty compact. It'll extend up there quite a ways, get pretty high up there. Not bad. All right, well, I'm going to move this stuff inside the van. Look at that. That light draws 81 watts. All right, I have it plugged into shore power. I set it down to about 600 watts. So I'll let it charge a little bit, but I want to hook up the alternator charger. So that's what it looks like on shore power. Then here on the app, that's what it looks like. Oops. But you can see it's charging straight off. Let me find that adjustable setting. That ain't it. Bear with me here. There it is, AC charging speed. See right there I had it set for 600, go up 1200, you can go all the way up to 1800 watts. Normally I don't like too big of a draw, so I'll leave it right down around 600. That's usually pretty good for my setup. You can do whatever you want with your battery setup, but 600 works good for me. Once again, it's under the AC charging speed. All right, gonna get the cable from the engine plugged into the alternator charger. Then I need to run the cable that will feed the battery. I'm getting it turned on now. Okay, I got the alternator charger. See where it says start working? To slide that over. 14.1 volts coming in from the engine, and we are creating 486 watts out of the alternator charger. Not bad. See that button down there? It says reverse charge. You can actually reverse charge from your Ecoflow back to the house batteries. And the reflection, sorry, there. You can see it shows 500 right there, exactly 500 watts. Not bad. It's working straight off the engine. So while I'm on the road, I can actually charge the e-bike as I drive, all kinds of things, and keep these batteries topped off straight off the engine. And I know that's flashing, but we're pulling a consistent 14.8 off the engine that's feeding into the alternator charger. Pretty cool. All right, I hooked it back to shore power. I'm going to charge for a while, let this build up a little bit. Then I'm going to get some appliances. We're going to hook up electric skillet, crock pot, all kinds of stuff. We're going to cook a little food, have a little fun. One thing I didn't realize is, see these little doors, they slide in out of the way. That's cool. They slide straight in, so they're not hanging down in your way when you get all the cables on. It's a nice little feature. Okay, I got electric skillet, crock pot. I'm going to unhook the shore power. We're done charging with that. We're actually going to pull some juice off these batteries. We're going to work them. Got electric skillet, got a crock pot. We're going to cook some food. Right there, I'm going to plug in the alternator charger. All right, let me get the rest of this set up. Turn on both batteries. That one's on. Yep. External battery is on. You can see the light flashing. Then down here we actually have two separate circuits. You can turn each set of plugs on separately. Pretty good. Then you got the USB ports and whatnot there. We're at 88% on the battery. I kind of stopped it on that. This is the first power station I've ever seen with a separate circuit for the plugs. That's the left side, and then you got the right side. Which that's kind of cool. You have full control. If that battery is drawn down, one set would probably turn off. I bet in the app you could adjust all that. Not bad. All right, what do you say? You want to cook something? Look at that pork roast right in this crock pot. Okay, we just had a major power outage. I have no power. We're stuck at home, but everyone's hungry, the whole family. So I'm going to turn on the power. See if I can figure out this crock pot. There we go. Got her going. Okay, it's set on high. And it's drawing about 200 watts. That crock pot is. There, I put a dark screen behind the camera. You know, you can see it. Okay, we got 200 watts off the crock pot. But wait, there's more. Now everyone's hungry. We gotta make us some RVerTV monster burgers. I'm actually gonna hook up an electric skillet, which is a huge draw. It should draw around 1100, 1200 watts. What that'll represent would be like a microwave, a heavy use product or appliance that this battery will easily handle. This thing will handle a lot. And we got the RVerTV monster burgers. Get this skillet plugged in. There you go. Okay, we'll turn on the right side set of plugs. That is such a cool feature. Crank that up to high. And what we drawn? Oh yeah. Wait, let me get my shield here for the reflection. almost 1400 watts between the crock pot and that electric skillet. So in a power outage, you could run your refrigerator, appliances, even a little mini split, all kinds of stuff. And if you had enough solar and also your alternator charger input, you could run all day long. Up top, that 2.4, that at this rate, this battery would last 2.4 hours. Okay, while that's cooking, gonna keep these batteries. I'm gonna go ahead and start the engine. We're gonna actually run some power right off the engine into this battery. So we're gonna charge while we're discharging at the same time with this Ecoflow Alternator charger. All right, engine's running. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. Just started the alternator charger. Give it a minute. There it goes. 378, 447, 472. Should top out at about 500 watts. And we are charging and discharging at the same time. We're still pulling at 1400 watts from our cooking appliances. We're making a meal. We're in a big power outage. Joking. But this is a pretty good test for it. See there? You got 500 going in and 1400 going out. And see at 3.2, now the battery will last longer because we're adding input. You could hook your solar panels, all kinds of things into this and really get that input up there. And on the app, there you go. Input 500, 1400 going out. All right, while this is cooking, let's jump over on the Ecoflow website. I'll show it to you real quick. Okay, here you go. Ecoflow.com. Here's our Delta 3 Max Plus. 2048 watt hours, 3000 watt powerful output, 6000 watt surge output. It's got the X boost mode on it. You can really crank this thing up for heavy duty appliances. This thing would run a mini split, no problem. You can see we're running an electric skillet, huge draw, crock pot, and I'll hook up coffee makers, washer dryers, construction guys. You could run skill saws, all kinds of table saws, all that kind of thing. There's many ways to charge it. It says here just up 43 minutes, up to 80% with generator charging. 25% more power, 3000 watt output. This thing's a little beast, isn't it? There's a good picture showing it in the kitchen. I don't have a kitchen. We got a van. Matter of fact, we got to get back to the burgers. Once again, check out Ecoflow's website. Always look for deals. They always run them on all their systems. And they have more than just the Delta 3 Max series here. I mean, you got whole house, all kinds of stuff. All different size batteries, from very big systems to very small. Once again, it's ecoflow.com. All right, we're back. Burgers are almost done. But here's the thing, in a power outage, okay, we're cooking, we got the fridge saved, we got everything powered up. I forgot to charge my e-bike. Let's plug it in. There you go. Now we're charging the e-bike. So we got crock pot, frying pan, e-bike charging, all off this Ecoflow system. But wait, we need some cool air. Let's kick that fan on. Fan's plugged in, kicker on. This system will handle it easy with a 3000 watt output. Not bad, huh? So, in any type of situation, if you got power outage from whatever reason, look at them burgers, those monster burgers. They're about ready to be eaten. Those are the RVerTV monster burgers cooked with an Ecoflow battery system. Okay, where are we at? Look at that, we still got over 82% of the battery. We still got 500 watts coming in from the engine. The van's still running. And we're putting out 1413. Not bad. Well, let's check lunch. Oh yeah, I'd say about ready for some cheese on these. But once again, a high watt appliance like an electric skillet, coffee pot, microwave, all of it will easily run. This will be a good tool this summer for travel. I could even run the crock pot while I drive. Set that up so I can cook while I'm traveling and filming the videos. And my e-bike will always be trucking, fully charged. And just so you know, I plugged in a USB-C cord right there. Let's charge up the old phone. Might as well. Is it charging? Heck yeah. So you'd have a power source no matter what in any kind of situation. All right, anyone getting hungry yet? I am. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish off these burgers and then wrap this thing up. Very impressed. A lot of work to install this. Getting that line run from the engine, but I've been wanting to do that for a long time. That took a while. Actually, I added that last year in the wall, but it's all hooked up now. All right, well, it's all bungeed up, ready for travel. Once again, I can pretty much run anything I want while I travel, charge while I travel, while I'm driving. And you can even reverse charge the house batteries off that system right there. Not bad. Want to thank Ecoflow for sending me this system. It'll be well used this year, especially down in the desert this fall. Be sure to check out their website. Click the links down in the description. Talk soon.